Welcome to Quiet Flame. This is Sweet Serenity, a story about healing, awakening, and learning to love yourself again. Each chapter is a reflection of one woman's journey toward peace, purpose, and spiritual renewal. Take a breath. Let your heart be still. The light within you knows the way. Chapter 2, A New Attitude. Simone woke up smiling. Morning light spilled softly through the curtains, gilding her bedroom in warmth. For the first time in years, her heart felt light, like the world was opening itself to her again. She reached for her phone on the nightstand and wasn't surprised to see a message waiting. Miles, good morning, beautiful. Ready to conquer the world today? Her grin deepened. Miles had a way of making her feel seen, really seen. Since that day outside the spin studio, they hadn't met again in person, but their connection had taken root and blossomed through calls, late night conversations, and those lingering good morning texts that set the tone for her entire day. She typed back quickly, thumbs dancing over the screen. Simone, good morning, handsome. Always ready. You? As she moved through her morning routine, coffee, shower, music humming low, Simone caught her reflection in the mirror. There was a new energy in her eyes, something light and quietly radiant. Sweet Serenity was thriving. Her twins were flourishing. And somehow this new friendship turned something more, had awakened a softness she'd tucked away long ago. Even when she worked the counter at the bakery, she could almost imagine catching the trace of his cologne, warm, woody, and impossible to forget. It was ridiculous, she told herself. And yet, the thought made her blush. Their conversations had become her favorite part of every day. They talked about everything, dreams and disappointments, faith and fear, family and food. He listened without interruption, answered without judgment. He teased her just enough to make her laugh, and when he called her sweetheart, the word wrapped around her like a promise. Once, after a long evening call, she had joked, "Wait until you finally give me some. I'll probably stalk you from here to kingdom come." He'd laughed, a deep, rich sound that lingered in her ear even after they hung up. "I wouldn't mind that one bit," he'd said. By early afternoon, Sweet Serenity was in full swing. Simone moved gracefully through the bustle, pouring lattes, greeting customers, sliding trays of scones into the display case. But her mind kept wandering. Each vibration of her phone sent a spark through her, and when it finally rang, she didn't even need to check the screen to know who it was. "Hey, you," she answered, her voice soft but bright. "Hey, yourself," came his reply, smooth and familiar. "How's my favorite baker today?" "Busy as usual," she said, wiping her hands on her apron. "But you know I love it." "I know. But listen, I was thinking, how about we finally fix this? I'm tired of just talking through a screen." Her pulse quickened. "You mean meet up?" "That's exactly what I mean. There's this little jazz club downtown. Thought of you the minute I walked past it. 7 o'clock? Simone hesitated for a breath, then smiled. "Perfect. I'll be there." That evening, she stood before her mirror, smoothing her black dress over her hips. The fabric hugged her curves just right. A hint of perfume lingered in the air. Amber, vanilla, something confident. She felt beautiful, maybe even a little dangerous. The jazz club was intimate and golden lit, its corners filled with conversation and soft laughter. A saxophone crooned in the background as Simone stepped inside, her pulse quickening when she spotted him at a small corner table. Miles stood as she approached, his eyes lighting up. Simone, he said, his voice rich with warmth. You look incredible. She laughed, trying to steady herself under his gaze. Thank you. You clean up pretty well yourself. They fell into easy conversation, just like before, but deeper somehow, more texture now, that she could see his expressions, his smile, the way his eyes softened when she spoke. They talked, laughed, and every time he reached across the table, her hand found his, as if it had been there all along. When the night came to a close, Miles walked her to her car beneath the quiet glow of the streetlights. The city hummed around them, but in that moment, it felt like they were the only two people in it. I've been looking forward to tonight, he said, stepping closer. Me too. Her voice came out softer than she expected. You've become my favorite person, Miles. And you've become mine, he said, brushing a strand of hair from her face. I'm not going anywhere. His lips met hers, slow, deliberate, breathtaking. It was the kind of kiss that felt like both an introduction and a promise. When they finally parted, Simone exhaled, dizzy and smiling. I'm falling for you, Miles. Good, he murmured, his forehead resting against hers, because I've already fallen. As she drove home, the night air still clinging to her perfume, Simone felt weightless. The world seemed brighter somehow, sweeter, like everything was finally falling into place. Simone's reflection. Love doesn't always arrive with thunder. Sometimes it slips in quietly, through laughter on a late night call, or the echo of a kiss that still hums against your lips. As Simone closes her journal, the page feels lighter, her heart a little clearer. Each reflection brings her closer to the peace she once searched for in others. This moment, this stillness, is her sweet serenity. Until the next chapter, keep your light burning softly.